Disclaimer, my readings are not for the faint of heart. Must have thick skin.
Hey you guys, it's that time. Pick a story where in one of the decks or all of the decks could be a story or a message for you. So, deck number 1, there is a message for those of you that have a pressing love situation. If you are pressed about love, deck number 1. If you are concerned about your career and or finances, deck number 2. These are your messages for career or finances. All right, so deck number 3 is open messages from spirit. It could be a spiritual message, it could be about anything, but this is for those of you that are needing to just be open to what spirit has to say. Okay, so I hope you have made your selection, and we're going to go ahead and begin with deck number 1. All right, so you have the 4 of Swords, the Lovers, the 8 of Wands, the 8 of Pentacles, the Ace of Wands. Overall energy, 5 of Pentacles, Queen of Cups, and the Knight of Swords. All right, so in the past, it seems like maybe there was this feeling of rejection, maybe, or unrequited love. Like maybe you put yourself out there for someone and the feelings weren't returned, or vice versa. Someone's been trying to acknowledge you or get to know you, but you know, it's just not reciprocated. If you're in an existing relationship, maybe you feel as if your partner is not giving you the security that you need in the relationship. So this is, in general, just like a one-sided card or one-sided energy here. There's a lack of something. Maybe you're wanting more attention from your partner. Maybe there's financial situations and you feel like your partner could be bringing in more, but they're not. It could be attraction or sexuality. It just seems that either way, your needs aren't being fulfilled. Now, this is also a card of ego, so maybe there's a situation where a problem could be resolved if someone would just speak up or be vocal about whatever it is that's bothering them. Now, especially too, there could be some issues between an air sign and a water sign. So if, you know, this is one of these is you and your partner, it just seems like, you know, maybe there's a loss of hope for the relationship. Now, it does kind of look like if someone is in an established relationship, maybe you've been thinking about someone else. You know, maybe there is someone who's come into the picture and they have you thinking. You're like, I don't know, like maybe I do feel like there's a connection with someone else other than my partner, or this person is giving me the stimulation that I need that my partner isn't giving to me. So you might feel torn between your partner and someone else, or, you know, vice versa. Now, also, if you're single, maybe you feel like misunderstood or unseen or invisible, basically, by, you know, love interests. But I feel that maybe there is someone that will be coming into the picture, and you're going to be having some sort of connection with someone. And it seems like there's going to be a lot of communication and talk between the two of you. The only, you know, concern is that This is always usually still an indication of someone being torn. So if you aren't torn between somebody and another person, then the person that you're interested in might be. And usually they are in a relationship, but they came across you and now they're thinking about you and they want to get to know you. Now, if it isn't torn between, two love interests, it still could be torn between two things somebody loves. Maybe you met somebody and they're really feeling you, but they live at a distance and they know that, I'm torn. Is it the relationship, or the job? Or is it the relationship, or, what my mom says? My mom doesn't approve, so I don't know. It just still seems like there's going to be a choice between you and something or someone else. So another thing I'm seeing is, especially more so like if you're single, maybe someone is feeling like they had a missed opportunity with you, like they missed their chance or opportunity to communicate or, have a conversation with you. And I feel like this person's been thinking about you, and they also could be, in a sense, maybe meditating, and trying to channel you or have a conversation with you telepathically. And if they are into metaphysical things, you might feel like somebody is trying to reach out to you or communicate with you. For some of you, it could be a work situation where someone is always like communicating with you when you're at work, especially if you're trying to focus and this person is just like trying to get your attention. And it's funny because even if you're not really trying to focus on love, although you're watching the love portion, to me this looks like a lot of Cupid's arrows in both pictures. Usually here we have someone maybe looking down, but it's just an arrow coming down. And then here, it just looks like there's a lot of arrows being aimed at two people. So there could be some sort of significant connection that you're having with somebody. And another thing is that this type of energy usually indicates that it is bigger than the two of you. Even though there's a physical attraction and you're just focused on how you're attracted to this person, it usually serves a higher purpose. Maybe there is something enlightening that's going to happen. It could be some sort of activation, some sort of enlightenment that this person's going to set off. Or maybe you are going to, be some sort of an awakening for this person. This does seem like some sort of new energy. Also, if your love life seemed to be quiet or at a standstill, I feel like things are going to start taking off pretty quickly. It seems like there's going to be some sort of movement. Definitely seems like you could be having some sort of strong physical attraction to someone or finding someone mentally stimulating, which also makes you feel very attracted to this person. In an established relationship, it could be some sort of dilemma between you and your partner. Should you stay or should you go? And it does seem like there is this conversation that happens and you guys might decide that you do want to fix things. You want to work at it. You want to build together. You want to bring in some sort of new energy to the relationship. So it is possible that even if there are issues or somebody is flirting with somebody else and looking at the, I feel like as a couple, you guys are, there's a willingness to want to fix things and be patient with each other. And it does seem like there's going to be some sort of new spark in the relationship. And maybe you guys are needing to add some sort of spice to the relationship. So I'm also seeing signatures or paperwork. Not sure how that pertains to your love life, unless maybe you and your partner are in business together, or you're making some sort of purchase together. But it does seem like something maybe require paperwork or signatures when it comes to your love life. Yeah. All right, let's look more into the Four of Swords. Okay, so yeah, like I was talking about the metaphysical thing, I do feel like this is confirmation that somebody's trying to channel you. Somebody is maybe thinking of your face, or thinking of your voice, and they're trying to do whatever they can to get some sort of conversation going between the two of you. This is also an indirect form of communication. I do feel that once an actual conversation starts, it goes really natural. Maybe you guys have like a lot of things to talk about. Conversation just seems to be going back and forth, or messages, like you guys are texting. That also might be why I'm seeing something about writing. That could also be like a bunch of text messages being sent back and forth. So yeah, I feel like there's going to be a lot of communication between you and a potential love interest. I feel like there's also going to be conversations about twin flames and soulmates, and maybe trying to figure out or just discuss like different philosophies. But I also kind of feel that somebody is thinking like, I think this is my soulmate. So you might be having conversations with someone to the point where you're like, I think this person might be a soulmate. And it does look like you have a soulmate in your presence. And I feel like you're also thinking a lot about something that somebody says to you, or you will be. Something somebody is saying to you uplifts your spirits. And I also feel that someone is challenging you in conversation, but more so they're getting those gears turning, like the things that they're saying. Like I said, it's stimulating. And there could be some disagreements, but it's like a healthy type of tension needed. You know, all relationships need a little bit of strain or tension to make that attraction or create that attraction. Can't be too perfect. So again, I'm seeing temptation. So whatever is happening in your love life feels like you're being lured, or it just feels like temptation. It does kind of look like somebody is coming in between two people. Somebody is splitting, or could be the blame for the reason somebody broke up. But I feel like there are already problems with a relationship, and you connecting with this person just, it doesn't make it any better, because the relationship was already lacking in something. So yeah, it's kind of looking like you intercepting a relationship, or maybe this is happening to you. You feel like, oh, had they never had a conversation with that person, we wouldn't have broken up. But you still may have broken up, but that is kind of like the bait to pull two people apart, away from each other, maybe for growth, maybe so that they can acknowledge the flaws in the relationship so that they can be fixed. So even though it's a bad thing, it could be a good opportunity to fix the relationship. I'm also feeling like initially someone had their guards up. Someone wanted things to unfold on their terms, and that may be what's happening. Now, also someone could be sharing the news with you about how they're not together with somebody anymore. Somebody might be expressing, or airing their dirty laundry. They're like, yeah, we're not together. So-and-so was cheating. Like maybe they're telling you all their business or something. So also if someone is like venting to you about their relationship or their failing relationship or the recent breakup, you could actually be the one that is trying to encourage this person. But I think there's still an attraction there. It's like you're giving this person advice or encouraging them to stay and fight for the relationship, while at the same time being attracted to this person. I feel too like someone had been wondering whether or not they should disclose or share some sort of information with you. And then it's like after they do, they're kind of like, I wonder what they're thinking now that I shared this. I don't feel like they have anxiety about it. In fact, I feel like someone feels relieved that they were able to talk about some things, or share some things with you. In fact, I kind of feel like you could be bonding with someone. Like you guys have some things in common. You could be seeing synchronicities of eights. That also could be a sign of change or transformation. Going back to an established relationship, it does seem like maybe there is this conversation about like fighting for the relationship or protecting it, rebuilding it. If you're single, I feel like you're being pursued by somebody that you see on a regular basis. So even if it's not at work, or even like you say you work from home, there still might be someone that you interact with from work, whether it's a team meeting, or maybe like you share like it's something called Teams. But maybe you guys are messaging each other through email or chats, even though it's work related. But if it's not work related, I still feel like someone that you see in passing on a regular basis is pursuing you. And it seems to like something's going to give you an ego boost. Something happens in cycles. So I was getting that with the eights as well. And now it seems like it's being confirmed. So something is cyclical. I don't know if you're needing to pay attention to patterns that have happened in regards to your love life, but it does seem like, doesn't your love life always begin this way, or doesn't it always end this way? So something is like cyclical, maybe even happening in eights, in units of eights, like every 8 months this happens, or every 8 years this happens. So if you can pay attention to what has happened to you in the past, especially when it comes to units of eights. Even check back on the 8th. If you journal, definitely check your journals dated with the number 8. Or maybe something happened during the 8th month. So like August, or, just something like that. Just pay attention, because I do feel like maybe Spirit does want to bring something to your attention. Yeah. If you are looking for work and you start working somewhere, there's a strong possibility that you could meet a love interest at your job. I feel like there is some sort of push play, some sort of playful flirtation going on, but also a little bit of resistance. Yeah. There's a little push-pull going on between two people. And the attraction is there. I also kind of feel like somebody is wanting to call you. One other thing, if you're not meeting anybody at work, you could be interacting with someone at work or during work hours, rather. So maybe someone is always sending you messages when you're at work. So that also could be some sort of a confirmation for someone. So I'm also getting something about pretzels. I don't know if someone works at a pretzel factory or if that's just someone's favorite snack, but I'm just saying something about pretzels. Okay, so let's see what messages there are for those of you concerned about your career and or finances. All right, so you have the Eight of Swords, the Eight of Cups, the Magician, the Knight of Swords, the Ace of Swords, overall energy, the Six of Cups, Temperance, and the Five of Swords. Okay, so it seems like you've been stressed about something. Maybe you've been waking up with headaches or nosebleeds. But it seems like maybe you've been stressed in regards to your finances or your career. Also maybe dealing with some sort of blockages. But I feel that maybe you've been trying to make peace with your situation and trying not to stress about so many things and just trying to be patient about your situation. And initially it does seem like you're trying to balance yourself, maybe emotionally, but at some point too, it seems like you are maybe going back to your past, or maybe you're having to trace your steps or go backwards in order to find clarity or solutions to an existing issue. Yeah, I kind of feel like you're having to revisit your past. I feel like you are also still feeling overwhelmed, and maybe you feel stuck. It does seem like your mental state or your mental process keeps you paralyzed and unable to think forward. It also might feel like there is an invisible barrier around you. And now I'm also just kind of getting like the image of like trick mirrors and being in a fun house and being in a room full of mirrors. And you know, that can just really be confusing with you trying to find your way out of a place that is just full of mirrors, because you're trying to figure out where's the real you and which one is the illusion. And you can, you know, although you can physically feel yourself, it's like trying to escape a room full of mirrors and you're like, I don't know how to get out of here. So it just does seem like maybe you're twisted in some sort of a maze right now. You also have like, you know, eights coming out, or 8-8. So maybe something happens in cycles for you. every eighth of something, every 8 years, every 8 months. So pay attention to cycles in your life. I feel like you are struggling, and definitely are like feeling lost. And you might feel like it's time for you to give something up or leave something alone. But I feel that maybe you kind of stop yourself and you're like, let me try to figure out another way out of this, or find another solution. What have I got? What have I got? And it seems like you're just kind of like rummaging through things, trying to figure out how to resolve whatever issue you're dealing with when it comes to your career or finances. I feel like you are looking into your past. It also could be that, like through a dream, maybe something's being revealed to you about your past. It kind of looks like a portal is opening up and you're able to see into your past, or you're looking into your past life. Now you can also, technically do that with astrology, where you're looking at your past karmas, to understand how to go forward. So maybe you're like trying to understand your past and you're like, okay, if this means that I did this in a past life, then, how do I resolve this? What's the solution? What's the remedy? And it also looks like, again, you're like giving up, and then you kind of stop and say, wait a minute, just because I don't have XYZ doesn't mean I can't do this. So let me try to work my magic, or see what I got. Let me pull some tricks out of my sleeve. So it's still some form of manifestation where you're having to manipulate your current circumstances to find your way out. And it does seem like after playing around with a lot of ideas, you see what you need to do. There also could be some sort of opportunity in front of you. I almost feel like you didn't see it at first because, something was hidden in plain sight. And then you recognize it. Again, just kind of like the fun house or the house of mirrors. It just seems like you see an out or an opening and you take it. You're like, something opened up. I don't know how I did this or how this opportunity came to me, but I'm going through it. And I feel like you are, running towards some sort of exit. And again, this is looking like clarity. Something becomes unlocked. It does seem like you were in a puzzle or a maze and something becomes unlocked and you can think again. Your thoughts aren't scattered. Your judgment isn't clouded. You're like, I see exactly what's happening, or I see exactly what I need to do. Yeah. So I feel like the answers are coming through to you. You also could come up with some sort of money-making idea. Something could require you to use your marketing skills, or maybe you are needing to market your business if you're self-employed. Whatever is going on, I feel like you're tapping into your past as well. So you might have had some sort of gift that you turned off or ignored as an adult. And so it's like you're reaching back into your childhood and, you know, revisiting something because something is your gift, or you were gifted with something. And you're like, I'm unlocking this gift. I forgot about it or haven't used it in a long time. You're using some sort of skills that you were born with to get ahead. Yeah, you're going to find a clear passage, or you're going to create one. So that could be another thing, like maybe you're trying to take the path of other people and you're like, well, you know, they did this to get to this point, and you know, that's what I'm trying to do. But maybe you're having to cut your own path out, especially with this swords energy. It's like cut, cut, cut. Yeah. So I see you getting ahead. Now, I'm not seeing like money falling in immediately, but I feel like you will get back on track or on the right path to making money, or to finding the career that you want to be in if you're not happy right now. But this overall energy is still going back to something nostalgic. So something that you used to want to do, maybe you're going back to it, even if it's not as far back as childhood, like maybe 5 years ago you thought about doing something, but you gave up on it. It's like, no, go back to that. This is a good time for you to go back to that. And then also maybe with Mercury being retrograde is making you mentally return to something, since Mercury does deal with like thinking and thoughts. So maybe it's with Mercury being retrograde, something is resurfacing that gives you clarity. Now, it also looks to like maybe someone is working in some form of marketing, telecommunications, engineering, influencing, being some sort of an influencer, where you get to perform, you get to be different people or use different voices, whatever it is, it's like creative. Yeah. I feel like I was getting another possible career category. Also, just having multiple streams of income. Like you could have more than one form of income coming in. Someone also maybe wanted to do something with children. I don't know if it was like opening up a daycare, but it could be someone revisiting that idea. I feel like there's also just a need to organize your thoughts. Maybe write things down instead of trying to hold them all in your mind. Writing it out might help. It does seem like there has been some sort of a blockage. Now, also, you not trusting your intuition could have also, held you back. Like you've got to trust your intuition. I keep getting something about messages being scattered. I mean, it is possible that there is a hidden enemy trying to send bad juju towards you, or evil eye, especially if they are an air or fire sign. You also may have allowed someone to get into your head just because someone didn't believe in what you wanted to do, or they said something negative about it. You kind of let that little voice take over. Maybe they're right, maybe blah, blah, blah. So someone also could have been going through a cycle or a phase of depression. Or maybe every 8 weeks or 8 months or 8 years, you go through depression. So something similar could be happening. Like all these negative thoughts about giving up, I feel like is an illusion. It's not real. It's just a fear of failure, but not necessarily a premonition or what's going to happen. It's just more internal negative thoughts. Also, try not to abandon things out of fear. Okay, so I feel like you've also been putting your prayers out into the universe, or maybe it's something that you've been praying for specifically, just really praying about it. And maybe you have felt abandoned by source, or just felt like nobody was listening. And then it looks as if you will see a sign that, your prayers were being heard. You're going to get a response. Again, I'm getting something about somebody had been burning candles. Yeah. Now I'm also seeing something magical happen. Like something seems like a miracle, or it seems like a instant response to a prayer. You might experience something like that. Like you pray about something, or maybe you write something down, or whatever manifestation you're doing, whether it's prayer, meditation, magic, it does seem like you're going to get some sort of instant response. Um, I feel like somebody's also communicating indirectly, or you're going to realize that someone has been communicating with you indirectly. Also could be some sort of strong Gemini energy coming through for somebody. Yeah, the thing that I'm getting the most from this, though, is you getting some sort of instant response. It almost seems to like, I don't know, like you speak something into existence, or it's like you're claiming something, and then the next thing you know, it's like the universe was listening. Almost like with your phones, you know, you're talking about something, all of a sudden your phone is showing you something, and you're like, oh, I know my phone was listening. I just kind of feel like you're going to feel that way, but in response from the universe to your prayers. In fact, those might be examples for us to understand how universe does work. It's like, yeah, you know, just like when you're talking and your phone shows you something, that's how we work. You definitely seem to be running towards an opportunity that opens up. You're like, I don't want to miss this. I don't want this window to close. It seems like you're being very assertive towards something that you want career-wise. You're like, this is my passion. This is what I desire. You also might keep something a secret until you feel safe enough to share it. And I feel like you're also going to be glad that you did something when you did it. You're going to be glad about a decision that you made. You're like, I'm so glad that I made the decision to act on this, or I'm so glad that I decided to go in this direction. I feel like you're also happy because, again, you feel like someone's listening. The universe is listening and showing you what to do. You might have a temporary blockage because maybe you think something's too good to be true. But I feel like you need to just trust that process. If you're into astrology, it's something that you're going to try and see, but you're being blocked from seeing the full picture. It's like, especially even if you have like a clear understanding of astrology and it's something that you're trying to read in your chart, it's like you're being blocked. Response. I just keep getting that something is a response. Yeah. I kind of feel, again, like I said, you are trying to ignore something initially or tune it out because you're like, no, I don't believe it. That's just unreal. That's too crazy. And I feel like you're going to try and tune something out initially. But you have to keep trusting your intuition. When you don't, that's when you keep hitting walls. I almost feel too like somebody is trying to show you a magic trick. It's like, let me show you a magic trick. And you might be like, how did you do that? Or teach me how to do that. Or maybe you're the one doing something and someone wants to know how you did it. Also, if an opportunity that's for you just and it opens up, or you find, like I say, you run towards some sort of opportunity that was maybe hiding in plain sight, somebody might be like, how did you see that? Or how did you do that? How did you hear about this? I mean, you can tell them, but you probably won't say anything until you feel safe enough to say so. But yeah. I'm also getting something about a smartwatch. I don't know what it's trying to say specifically about a smartwatch. I don't know. Maybe that is, maybe there is some sort of message, or did somebody give you a smartwatch? Maybe you're having some sort of understanding of time. And how, like we say, time is an illusion, like something starts to make sense to you. All right. Let's go on to deck number 3. All right, so your open messages. You have the Queen of Swords, the Lovers, the Ten of Swords, Four of Wands, King of Cups, overall energy, Queen of Wands, Six of Swords, and the Six of Wands. All right, so I feel that in the past, you felt very confident in where your life was headed. You felt very confident in decisions that you were making. It feels as if you had a lot of support, both from the spiritual side and from the physical side. And it just seems that whatever was going on gave you a sense of calmness and balance in your life. Something may be provoking you to be more assertive. Maybe you're going to embody some sort of fire energy and be more bold, be more courageous, be faster, and to like take control. Definitely seems like feminine but masculine energies going on. Like these women are handling their element, and very confident in how they're using their element. The sword, the big wand here. I'm seeing like a sense of dominance and what do you call it? Confidence kind of coming out. Yeah, I feel that you're embodying this fire energy. You're becoming more confident in yourself. You're kind of like, okay, I know what I'm doing, or I know where I'm going. And also, like, the first thing that I heard was like standing on business. Including if you're, a guy watching, it just still feels like something's happening where you're embodying this fire energy and being more confident in your decisions. I feel like you are having to make some sort of decision. You're having to let something go. You can't, I don't want to say you can't. Maybe you're trying to do two things at once, or you're trying to move forward with two people at once. Whatever this is saying, okay, no, make your choice and move forward with one and end the other. You also could be torn between a fire sign and an air sign. It's like at some point maybe you're needing to make a decision, or even like a water sign could be in the picture. One other thing that could be happening, like you're torn between two people and then a third person comes and then just like makes you forget about the other two people. If it's not people, maybe it's opportunities. Maybe you were like, should I do this or that? And then there's a third opportunity that's like, oh, forget the other two. I'm moving in this direction. Something seems like a tiebreaker. In a love situation, I feel like you're making a strong connection with someone, but it's like after that initial connection is established, things might go silent for a bit, and then I kind of feel like things are going to pick up again. I see you also doing something new or experiencing something that you've never done before. And this is like a huge milestone for you. You could potentially, step out of your comfort zone and talk to someone that you said you wouldn't talk to, date someone that you said you wouldn't date. If you're in a relationship, you and your partner might be doing something very new for the first time as a couple. Yeah. And I also feel that you're going to have a sense of balance or security in your life as well. It seems like there is a foundation that's being established. One foundation is ending and you're starting over or building some sort of new foundation. Definitely just seems like whatever was working in the past, maybe that is no more. And so you're just moving in a new direction. So I feel too like if someone has been needing to say something or express themselves and holding back, they will finally come forward or get something off of their chest. And I see you like getting closer to somebody too. Something is going to bring two people closer together. Now I'm still getting kind of a similar energy in this love. If this is a love situation, you might come into somebody's life as a catalyst and make them realize that they feel dead inside, or that their relationship is dead weight, or that they need to move on from somebody. Or maybe they're already broken up with somebody but have been trying to hold on. You might be the person that helps them release that person or let them go. And help them to see that there are other things or other people in the world. The world has more to offer. Or maybe someone is making you feel that way. Spiritually, I feel that you could be visited in your sleep by someone. I don't know too if you have to be like in a certain position in order to have like premonitions or, you know, certain type of dreams, but it does seem like you have to be in a certain type of position, and then it kind of like opens up like a portal or unlocks something where you're able to receive messages from beyond. I also just kind of feel like something is being resumed. Again, I kind of feel like that has to do with a connection or a conversation that you have with somebody, and then it just kind of stops or goes silent, and then it's going to be resumed. It seems like you are being adamant about something. I feel like you're not willing to bend the knee. You're like, no, you bend the knee to me. I'm not conforming. There's a possibility that you intimidate somebody. Yeah, you might come off intimidating, or something about your directness could be intimidating. I'm also seeing you set boundaries up with people that you don't trust. Somebody might say they're going to do something and you're like, I'll believe it when I see it. And so maybe you don't believe someone's word until they prove themselves. If there is a spirit speaking to you, a loved one, I feel like they're telling you that you need to overcome your fears and that you need to be more confident. Yeah, somebody wants you to get out of your comfort zone. So someone will be faced with some form of temptation, some kind of indulging of pleasures or eating of the forbidden fruit. Maybe you're trying to avoid indulging into something, but something does seem like it is right there. It's just very tempting. Spiritually, I always see this as spiritual bait. So something is maybe being dangled in your face to get you to get up and either overcome a fear or, get out of your comfort zone. But whatever it is, it does seem like something is being dangled for you. And you're like, I don't want to, but I really want that. Someone feels obligated to protect you. or support you. Again, I feel like that is from beyond. Someone is still protecting you. But also in a love situation, maybe someone feels obligated to you. They're like, I don't know why I feel so drawn to this person, or why I feel the need to protect this person, but I just do. I think someone also needs to make a decision about moving. It's like either you're going to move or stay. But I feel like this decision is significant. Like it can alter the path that you're on depending what you decide to do. Or one path, either way, like you still have to get to the end goal. But one path might be more difficult than the other. Okay, so spiritually, definitely seems like someone will be visiting you in your dreams if they haven't been already, especially a water sign or an air sign. Maybe this person has a message for you. They really could just be wanting to say that they love you. Also, if something comes to an end, know that it's a good thing. Like you'll be given something that's better. Another thing from someone on the other side, I feel like they want you to know that it's okay to let go. So, of course, it could be a love situation where maybe someone is just like, no, I'm just going to love this person forever, even if they're gone. This person could be telling you to let go, like it's okay. Or maybe it's something else. You know, maybe it's more so like, let's say you want to stay living in your home, but at the same time, you're like, oh no, you know, so-and-so would have wanted me to stay here. I kind of feel like that person's like, no, let go. You know, it's okay. So it's something that you're maybe holding on to, and I feel that a spirit wants you to know that it's okay to let go. In regards to a relationship or a connection, be careful that you aren't being used. Yeah. Somebody could be trying to manipulate you or wear a mask or pretend to be someone that they're not. Or someone could be stringing you along. So make sure you're paying attention to any red flags. Yeah, the shadow side of this is that I almost feel like somebody is being lured into a trap where, like, they didn't tell you the full story until after you slept with them. Someone is being very misleading and they're just kind of like trying to get you in with them, and when they feel comfortable, they're like, okay, well, let me tell them this now that we slept together. So it's like after they get what they wanted, then they want to come clean or tell you the full story or something. So just be careful about that. Now, it could just be something, I don't know, somebody invite you to something. Maybe they're playing like it's innocent, or they're like, oh, why don't you come in? Like, 1 minute it's just like, I need a ride home. Oh, you know what? Why don't you come in for me? You know, it's just like everything is leading up to something. Definitely feels like it could be like sexual in nature. So I'm also seeing like this primal lust. Someone definitely could get lured into a situation. You could lose your train of thought. Like, maybe you're not thinking clearly. You're thinking with lust, too much lust, or something that is making you delusional, ignoring red flags. Also, with that, make sure that you are safe with any new partners. Especially like I said, somebody might be like, oh, I didn't want to tell them that I had this until we slept together. Now we're stuck. You know, so be careful of that. Now, it also just kind of feels like someone is still, again, holding on or obsessed, or maybe something develops into an obsession. It also kind of makes me think about be careful who you invite into your home, because, you know, vampires can't enter your home until you invite them in. So it's just like once they're in, they just have easy access. And so I just kind of feel like be careful who you invite into your space. Also, be careful of hacking. You know, somebody might be a hacking genius, and you could have some obsessed ex hacking into your information because they lured you into some sort of trap, and now they're like, oh, I got access now. I'm just going to enter and see what they're talking, who they're talking to, what they're up to, and they're just kind of like going bananas with your information. Make sure you ground yourself. It's good to, you know, trust your intuition, but also stay grounded. Yeah. Any new people coming into your life, just be mindful. Everybody does not have good intentions. If there are multiple people coming into your life, again, you're just going to have to weed out certain people, the people with good intentions versus bad intentions. I will say be cautious of a water sign, especially. That was some weird energy coming out with the water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. All right, so hopefully these messages help. Feel free to leave your feedback. Thank you guys for watching. Sending you love and grace.